Hello, Artshare fam. So it's been a minute, and all we have are these precious minutes, so I hope that you're staying creative where you are. I'm pretty much staying creative where I am. I've done my little ditties last couple days. I wanted to check in with you about rescuing, because this is a topic that comes up on occasion, and I'm working with someone on that issue right now. We're looking at the issue a few different ways, in every context except a victim and bully context, which is usually how that goes. This person is doing a project, and we are working through, they're separating kind of the project from what's going on in life, and we're slowly, carefully, lovingly, kindly working on integrating, letting what's going on in their life inform the project, the characters involved in the project, and just kind of leaving it there so as not to give too many details about the art form and what it looks like and things like that. But I can tell you personally, it's helpful to have what's going on in your life inform your work. Sometimes a piece of dialogue, that's a benign example. Like a piece of dialogue can inform maybe what your characters would say in, let's say like a short story or something like that, or even a poem or a flash fiction or something like that. It'll inform what they do, and then that can move the plot point forward and take them in a new direction. But we were working on the subject of rescuing because a lot of times artists are natural empaths, right? We're natural helpers, and I feel like a lot of people in New Age circles or creative circles have evolved past the idea of you can't save someone, right? I mean, intellectually. But internally, we're still helpers, and we're still empaths. We still want to just help the tribe, even in ways that are unbeknownst to us, even at times when we don't think we're doing that. And I think that's what we were mostly working on. She knows someone that is, well, I did say the she pronoun, but I do have quite a few clients I'm working with, so I think it's okay. She knows someone who is abusing substances, and so this person is doesn't see it as an issue, and they're just kind of at the beginning stages of saying they're in recovery and they don't do it anymore, and then going full force into doing it. And recovery is such a sensitive issue. Everyone has an addiction of some sort, so who are you to push someone through their recovery journey when they're not ready or they're not interested? So you could say, well, I'm not trying to rescue them. They're not even asking for help. But, if you're trying to intervene or intercede or short circuit something, if there's no danger there, it might kind of be overstepping your bounds, right? And someone still might feel in their mind, they feel principled and they're going to rush through and make it happen anyway. And that's their karma. But the thing is, I strongly believe that art is healing. Art heals. And so when there's letters you can't send or conversations you can't have or things you can't do, you can definitely have that inform your art. And whether you're talking about the concepts or things that the characters are going on. And you can maybe find answers or fulfillment that you won't find in your day-to-day life. Art is transformative, and spirit is all imbued, all up in there. Everything we write and create, it really is. And life is so complex and difficult. As lovely as it is, it can also be complex and difficult. And I think that's why art appeals to so many people, because it helps articulate things, and it helps affect catharsis and inform what we're going through. And life can be disappointing. As much as it's enchanting and delightful, it can be disappointing. And sometimes it's hard for us to look at that. And so you could even challenge yourself as an artist to have your characters carry some of that weight, and not to be the god of their experience and weigh them down with it, but because you're working with characters, let's say we're working with the idea of fiction. It could be musical you're writing, it could be a song you're writing, but just fiction is a really tangible idea because I'm writing some fiction right now, so it's easier for me to explain. So even if you plunk your characters down in the middle of just an intransigent situation, and you're really feeling for them, and of course you're rooting for them. Some authors are rooting for their characters. I'm rooting for my characters. And you don't want to saddle them with something they can't resolve. But inherent in the nature of author character is a desire for things to move forward, for characters to work on their issue, for indirect characterization, for elements around them to push things forward. And I know in life it's hard to see that you're the character of your own work of art too. And so there is something transformative in that experience, and that I love my characters for that reason. My characters have elements of so many people in my life that I love or knew or know of, and they help carry that weight. For some of us, we share the weight, and some of their solutions can reflect into your life. It can be very meta that way, and I feel like I'm coming from pure intentions, like an honest desire to know and to heal. And sometimes there's a vicariousness to it, things I wish I could say or do, or things I wish could happen. And my personal philosophy as an author is life is challenging enough, so even if my characters are going through challenging situations, it's not in my interest or desire to keep them there. I want to help them solve. I want to help them resolve. I want to help them find their highest good, even if that answer is not something we want or they want. And we are experimenting, my client and I are experimenting with seeing, how that can help move things forward, or just be a release. I feel like there's a mutuality in relationships, and the same is true of your art. I know a painter, he's such a good friend, he's a good friend of mine, and everything in life stops. If he has a buyer for his art, or someone wants to buy his art, or a commission, or he's going somewhere to show, everything stops, and he considers those works of art his babies, his progeny. You can't deny the life in that. You can't deny, well, I won't deny the life in that, the transformative nature of that, the healing nature of that. And I think it can help you when you're going through things to have a conversation with your art about it, even if it's never published or shared with the world. This is a very postmodern meta time anyway. People are experimenting with metaphysical ideas and how that informs them as artists, and all kinds of coincidences and synchronicities and really interesting things. So I invite you to play with your art. It's in the air because of things going on politically and socially. There's so much sadness, and sadness being triggered, anger being triggered, things we can't fix or resolve straight away being triggered, many other things. And there's no easy answers, and sometimes the beauty is in the process, in the sharing and the relating and the expression, because expression is the opposite of depression. So even if you're mired in a walking depression or anything that's going on and you're grieving, and the sadness doesn't seem like it lifts, art can help lift somewhat. Art can help with catharsis somewhat. Art can be an enlightened witness when you feel like no one is quite there to listen. I mean, even as a coach and even as a helper, a doula for these types of processes, it's like I'm never going to know your heart fully, because we're still getting to know our hearts fully. I'm not going to have all the answers for you, but I can help you to do some of the math. We can take the whiteboard out, the drawing board out, and work on some things together. But it's up to you to come to your own conclusion, to see your own impasse. And we do need that reflection. We do need that community, but it need not be literal. It need not be me. It could be your art. So experiment with that. See how it feels. See if it helps you at all. If it helps heal matters at all. I have a couple buddies that say art does not heal, and it's it can be calming or it can be a distraction, but it doesn't heal. And I strongly believe that art heals. So I would love to get your feedback. I'm getting some initial feedback on these ideas, and I'm working these ideas. So I'd be curious to see if this resonates with any of you. And you're welcome to DM me. Check out my YouTube page. That link is in my bio. And just let me know. Comment below if this resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm here for it all. And I'm just wishing you just deep healing and deep magic, deep respect from the universe, problems resolved or issues made clear. You know, we can't solve everything or resolve everything, but just a healing, a catharsis, an inner peace. And if it can't be everything today, maybe just one thing. That's my wish for you and for everyone. And I'm sending heartfelt metta, deep love, respect. I honor your process and I thank you for sharing this time with me. And I wish you well. Take care.